Hey guys, Extra here, doing another video. This one I wanted to talk about the idea of getting good. I think if you're watching my videos, you either want to get good at Smash, or you have wanted to get good at Smash in the past. If you don't want to get good at Smash at all and you're watching my videos, that's cool as well, I guess. Keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, I think just in general, this is not going to be a video about me giving you all the answers to get good, me saying this is the best way to improve, this is the best way to become a top player. Instead, I want people to think about what getting good means to them on an individual level. And I think a lot of people have probably never thought about this, but it's a very sort of common sentiment of, I want to get good at Smash Bros. But when you're sort of thinking about that, everyone has their own idea of what getting good at Smash Bros means, and if you're just sort of playing with this idea of, this very vague idea of, oh, I want to be good, you sort of have to stop and think about, like, what does good mean to you? What does good look like to you? And I don't think there is really a right answer. There's probably a lot of different answers people could give because people see the game in a lot of different ways. But I think it's important to sort of have that answer in the first place, if that makes sense. For instance, to give myself as an example, I am the kind of player who really wants to understand the game. I want to understand the opponents. I want to be making decisions that have an actual reason behind it. I want there to be a sort of reason for doing things in my gameplay, and even if those reasons end up being wrong, even if I didn't make the right decision, then at least that gives me data, that gives me reason to make other decisions in the future. And I'm not saying that is the best way to play. I'm not saying that everyone should see the game like that. I think it would be cool if they did, but what that sort of achieves for me is that it gives me, when I play, it gives me something to be constantly working on. I'm constantly trying to think, are my decisions good enough? Should I have made a different decision in this moment? What do I think the opponent is thinking about? So even friendlies, which a lot of people just play sort of mindlessly. A lot of people grind friendlies in the hopes that they will get good. Against someone like that who's just playing mindlessly, I'm playing with the intent to get better. It's sort of underlying all my games. It's underlying all my decisions is the vision of what I think is good gameplay. And that's a big way. I think a lot of Australians, the top level players, they really have an ideal of how they want to play, and that gives them a pretty big advantage over the sort of players who are a bit less sure of that. So as a sort of example, think about if you are a player who wants to get good. Think about if you actually did get good. Let's say your goal is to be the best player in Australia. Maybe that's aiming high for some people, maybe that's aiming a bit low, but, just think about it. And think about your hypothetical, gameplay, and what you would be doing so much better, or what you would need to be doing better to achieve that level of best player in Australia. And it doesn't really matter, again, like I said, what your answer is. Whether you think, I would play a lot faster, I would have a much better defensive game, so on and so forth. That doesn't really matter. What matters is that you have the idea in the first place. And if you have that idea, then you're able to sort of translate that into what you need to work on. Similarly, it's important to think about the things that might not be obvious, the kind of skills that might not be obvious to reach that higher level of play. For instance, you probably have a player who you really enjoy watching, a player who you want to be as good as. I think everyone's watched a top player and thought, I want to be as good as that guy. So thinking about that player in that context, think about the skills that, not only the things that you do well, that they are better at, that you could improve on, but also the ways they sort of make up for their play style, their ideal gameplay, the ways that they cover the weaknesses of that, because every play style has weaknesses. Players like Dabuz, they're known for a sort of slow defensive play style, but that doesn't mean that they play slowly. If you watch Dabuz, he's got extremely quick reactions and makes a lot of decisions very quickly in terms of like positioning, reacting to people's jumps, so on and so forth. Or a player like Light, who plays a really sort of aggro play style. He's sort of up in your face, he's making a lot of decisions, he's overwhelming you. A player like that can't really succeed without a strong defensive game to complement it. Because if you're trying to sort of base everything on like, I'm going to go in and always make the correct decision and I'm never going to get hit because my movement is that much better, that's not realistic at top level. You're always going to get hit, you're always going to make the wrong decision, So in exchange for that, you can maybe watch Light and you can think, how is he making up for this play style that I admire so much? How is he making it work? Not just in the sense that he makes good decisions, he has a strong advantage state, but how is he compensating for when that play style, doesn't go to plan? Alright, I think that's about it for this video. That was pretty much all I wanted to cover. So yeah, hopefully it was a bit of an interesting idea that some people haven't really thought about. And yeah, alright, I'll see you guys next time.